Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We're going to talk about the issue of how can we improve our intimate life, both men and women. And we see a few instances in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ where some of the Sahaba and Sahabiyat have addressed this issue. We see it sometimes, the Prophet ﷺ addressed the issue of wet dreams, a desire. Of course, we have to maintain a certain adab and respect when we're talking about this sensitive topic, but it's not something to be shy from. We can see from the questions that are coming in that people are having issues. So, and people are signing up for the live broadcast that we're going to do for men. And people need to be educated on this issue. It is an issue of the fitrah, but we live in a society where the fitrah has been corrupted. We need to understand what can we do as damage control, what can we do as preemptive measures. So how can someone improve or become really good at intimacy? Well, it starts first and foremost with what Allah has given you, and that is your body, your amana. Your body is an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, both men and female, males and females. وَلَيْسَ ذَكَّرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. I always use this ayah, men and women are not the same, and we have to understand that. So when it comes to your body, what can you do? It's a bit different for men and a bit different for women. First and foremost, my recommendation for the brothers is that they take care of themselves a lot more. In terms of health, in terms of nutrition, in terms of exercise. Libido, as it's called, or sex drive, is affected or directly proportional to your fitness level. Especially for those who smoke, those who are overweight. Don't think you're going to be able to perform well. You might think you're performing well because your wife might be shy to tell you. And I'm so sorry to say, but women do fake pleasure sometimes because they don't want to hurt their husbands. They know how it's an issue of ego. And sadly for men, it's an issue of ego as opposed to being an issue of learning and understanding your potential. So a lot of guys today smoke. They are overweight. They have very weak libido or sexual drive, low testosterone. Actually, there's a study that I've looked at recently, and it was mentioned in a training session as well, where testosterone levels are very low in males in the 21st century, in the West especially, and the East of course as well. And testosterone can be naturally boosted through different foods, and libido as well, different fruits, nuts. Okay, you can do a little research. It's common knowledge. It's not some kind of, hidden knowledge. So do a bit of research to understand naturally boosting the natural testosterone boosters, foods, and libido, your sexual drive. What can it be boosted through? There's bananas, there's nuts, there's honey, there's ginger, there's lemons, a lot of fruits and natural things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the aphrodisiacs that we need in this nature. But it starts with the health, and the brothers do not take care of their health, sadly. And because the brothers, men are the givers, they have to do the work. Not all the time, but in general, men are givers. That's by nature, right? Because that's just, it's obvious, isn't it? When the man gives, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get more descriptive than that. So men actually are givers, and they have to be in better shape. They have to, sadly, because they're selfish a lot of times. They don't give, and they think they just kind of lay back and relax, do their thing, and just go to sleep. And that causes a lot of trouble. And women will not say it, they will suffer in silence. And sometimes, of course, women also might not, do their share, no doubt. But in general, because the man is the giver, if he cannot give it properly and he does not have the fitness to do it, and the drive to do it, the strength to do it, then obviously that's going to be a problem. So they're naturally boosting foods that boost testosterone, and people need to do a bit of research on that, and that lift or increase libido. So it starts with health. So guys, even just a very short thing like going to the gym and lifting weights, it boosts your testosterone, it boosts your drive. But men don't do it. Running, jogging, being in shape, lowering your body fat. Okay, so what you eat, your diet, your cardiac health, your heart health, your fitness, the cardiac fitness. That's done through cardio, right? Because if you cannot last for more than a few minutes, I'm not talking about just the actual act, but I'm talking about like physically, because it requires, the act of intimacy burns about 350 calories or more. And you need to be able to do that. You need to be able to have that strength and that ability. So take care of your health. Start today. Start by going to the gym. Lifting weights does increase your testosterone. It does increase your drive. The foods that you're gonna use and you're gonna eat, right? Certain activities such as martial arts, horse riding, even riding a motorcycle or a bike, something like that. It's something so manly that it does give you that boost. Being in more riskier situations, I'm not saying climb some things, but right, it kind of boosts you when you do things that men are supposed to do, as opposed to sitting on the couch. And that is the problem with fitness. And there's a problem. This is the dilemma of the 21st century male, the masculine dilemma, is that of a sedimentary lifestyle where you just sit around. I mean, people, the non-Muslims seem to have figured it out, and they go to the gym, and they really take their time, and they're improving, of course. The Muslims now are very sedimentary. Subhanallah, from the people that I've lived with and I've left and I've been friends with, the countries that I visited, Muslim countries, most of the guys were overweight or out of shape. And what happens is you lose your hair, you lose your good looks, which also add to the act of intimacy, because it attracts and arises desire in the woman to be with you. And when she's aroused and when she has desire, then it's better for you. And when you're aroused, you have desire, it's better for her. Remember, that's always said, it takes each one of you to want to please the other, and to do certain things that please the other. Then it's balanced, and the two can really do well. So take care of your health. Very fast advice, guys. Go to the gym, lift some weights, go for a jog, do some martial arts, sign up for karate, hit the bag, start feeding yourself properly. Try to lose the belly, try to lose the body fat, increase your cardiac fitness, and do more manly things. Get moving. Go ride some horses, go shoot some arrows, go swimming, go do some wrestling, some jiu-jitsu. Get into some situations where you're challenging yourself, climb a mountain, get that adrenaline moving, man. Take care of yourself. SubhanAllah, you're gonna notice changes very fast. Very fast. Don't sleep so much. Try to figure out your schedule, but sleep enough. 6 hours, 7 hours is enough. 8, 9, 10, 12. Oh my God, it's too much. So try to take care of that, brother. It's very fast, solutions. You'll see the change very fast. Start doing some research. What are naturally libido boosting foods? All right, what can lift your testosterone? Some people go for testosterone replacement and testosterone boosters. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really. Things are, even though it's a hormone that's created by the body, you can do it naturally. I go for the natural thing. So go for it. What about the women and their desires and what can raise? Because sometimes women have problems as well. A lot of the times for the women are a bit different. One of my teachers said that guys are like microwaves, ding, 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 it heats up very fast. Women are like ovens. They need, the right temperature. They need the right setting. It's not always the case, but it is the case a lot of times, because guys just jump in and they think they can just, so it's important for women to be understood as well when it comes to this. Now, women have to be in shape as well, but it's not the same thing, because see, a woman can perform as she's a receiver, even if she's a bit overweight. Some guys prefer that actually, when a woman is a bit overweight. They do. This is the reality. And so for a woman, her fitness is important, mostly towards looks. Even if she's overweight a bit, but she's proportionate and she looks good, men do not mind that. So it's a bit different. But she has to be in shape to look good, obviously, so she can attract her husband. She should eat properly. Her libido also is important. So proper food, proper diet, exercise is also very important, right? So she should look for enhancing foods that enhance her libido and her drive. And but for the woman, it is very important. Here, this is just, this is just how it is. That the man knows how to set the right settings and say the right things, touch the right buttons, and set the right temperature. She has to take care of her health. She has to take care of her food, her diet, go to the gym. She's gonna notice that natural. It's important. But as I said, women, when it comes to intimacy, I don't want to use the wrong word, but they are more complex than the men. And that sometimes, and we'll talk about it, because it is somehow an advantage. I'm going to use the word advantage here. Because being receptors, women can go longer. They don't have to stay in a certain position, in a certain strength, right? In a certain condition to be able to continue. She's a receiver. She doesn't have something to be, strong like a man does, right? Because if a man, after pleasure is done, they have a refractory period. A woman can go on. So in this case, there's an advantage in a woman. Women also multi-orgasmic. Men can also do that, but it takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of understanding of the self and the body. In general, women can, if they, they're comfortable and relaxed, they're easily, can go on for longer and longer and longer. So that has to be understood, because they're not the same. And because a lot of the times, the history of sexuality started with men not even caring about women and their, whatever is recorded history, that even the female orgasm was a myth, to thinking that it's just whatever, the same, like do it the way she does it is the way you do it, to now understanding that they're not the same, and that it requires certain knowledge, like anything. I mean, everything is about knowledge. And we know how important knowledge is, but it requires certain knowledge, even when it comes to this, so the woman can be pleased. And if the woman is happy in that case, a lot of things are solved. And again, it's a responsibility on the man to make sure that she is pleased. She also has that responsibility to him. But because the man is the leader, because he's رِجَالُ قَوَّمُونَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ, he not only has to provide for housing and food and all this, but he also has to provide for that need, to make sure that she gets what she needs. So food, clothing, protection, love, care, and all that, plus that she is pleased from that angle. It's very important. This is the reality. Guys are always, bragging that we are the protectors of women and we are قوامون على النساء. But when it comes to this issue, men are like, right? No, it's not like that. And it does require knowledge. So men have to boost their testosterone, their libido. Women can. It's not the same type of fitness that's required, because they're receivers. They have an advantage when it comes to sex, and when it comes to performance, and when it comes to their fitness in it, because they don't have to be hard. You know what I mean, right? Trying to find the right words, not to be too vulgar, but this is the reality. So the man has a responsibility to make sure that she has a responsibility to make sure that he is pleased. And a lot of times the guy is much easier pleased, because we are pleased a lot visually. Women usually, even in making love, not all the time, but they do like more the feeling and closing eyes and holding, hugging. Men like to see, because they are stimulated visually. And in general, the man will have no problem in culminating. But for the woman, as statistics show, that 30%, sometimes 20 to 30% of women have a hard time culminating. And that is because guys think that is the same the way they do it. It's just kind of go in there, just, hit it, and, in, out, and then just kind of done, and she's gonna automatically culminate. No, it's not like that. It's not like men. It's not like that. That's why we find women are very sensitive. You have to be careful what you say, what you do, how you do it. This is in reality. I mean, this applies across the board. And it is, as I said, it's not necessarily something bad, because it's something good. That's how women are. They're more sensitive because they're mothers, because they take care of children, because they have that extra sense to see certain things that men might not see. That's why لَيْسَ ذَكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. They are created in such a way to have that extra sensitivity because of their nurturing primary responsibility of being women. They have that extra sensitivity, and that extra sensitivity is across the board, even when it comes to the intimate relation. And if the man doesn't understand how to treat his wife in that case, and in other cases emotional and spiritual and physical and all that, then the woman is not fulfilled. And a lot of the problems that are happening in marriages with women, men not understanding why women are acting up, or they're not submitting, or they're not respecting and all that, sometimes is taken back to that issue. And sometimes they themselves, the women, do not know. We know that the woman, and most women, they'll know, even if it's, just kind of like a slogan that women use when they reach their period time, that's something totally different. During their period time is something totally different. Because their hormones are different, because the way their body reacts is different, because it affects them psychologically on every level. And remember, they don't pray at that time, they don't fast at that time. Try to understand that. It's very huge implications. Guys don't think about that a lot of times. They just kind of say, they're on their period, they're, all these things. It's not like that. They require certain approach and certain way. And the Prophet ﷺ used to spend time with his wives when they're on their period as well. And sorry, but he used to play with them, an intimate play. And it said that Aisha used to wear izar, like pants, and he used to put his head on her lap, and she used to comb it. And they used to, the word in hadith is fondle. Right? He used to play with them, foreplay, and it's an intimate play. I know some people don't like it, but this is in the authentic hadith. So it's important for us to put things in the right perspective. This is the objectives of the Sharia, and the hikmah is putting the right thing in the right place at the right time. And man is responsible to that. Woman is also responsible. And we'll get to that point as to what she has to do to please her husband, and how she has to do it. How it's not that difficult to please a man. It's not that difficult. Okay, there are some exceptions, that some hard to please when it comes to the act of intimacy, but in general, men are not that hard to please. Women don't have to try it hard. For women, men do have to have some knowledge of the right place, the right thing to say, the right setting, depending on the need.